They're here under two case numbers. Case number 24 CR 001405 and 25 CR 000083. The defendant is present in open court with their attorney, Nicole Novotny. We are set today for a sentencing hearing. A pre-sentence report has since been completed. The defendant has 54 days of jail time credited on the 1405 case and 46 days of jail time credited on the 83 case.
Ms. Novotny, any reason not to go forward with sentencing?
We may proceed, Your Honor.
Anything you want to say on behalf of your client?
Yes, Your Honor. With regard to the instant matters in front of you today, we'd ask the court to consider community control sanctions for Ms. Simpkins. With regard to the instant matters, I know I've been in constant contact with her. With regard to these cases, I know she was in the Lorain County Jail, was able to get a hold of her and keep track of contact with her when she moved from Lorain County Jail to Summit County Jail. Your Honor, she was clearing up both cases, as we previously discussed at the last hearing that we were here on. She had a lot of time to reflect on these cases that are pending for her. I know with these instant cases, she was around the wrong people with this point. She was in a relationship that was kind of manipulative for her at this point. No way to excuse what was caused here, just to explain some sort of the situation of what was happening with this regard. So she was in a very bad relationship with that, kind of led her down to a downward spiral, and why she's here in front of you today. I know she's had a lot of time to reflect from moving from jail to clear up her old cases. I know she's been away from her family and her 3 children for a significant amount of time, a little over 7 months specifically, Your Honor. I know she wants to be in her children's lives. I know she's missed a lot of key aspects of what they have been doing in school, as well as just her extracurriculars, and she wants to be the role model that her children deserve, Your Honor. She wants to be there for them. I know previously, before she was incarcerated, she was going to Ohio Guidestone for mental health and counseling. She would like to continue doing that, Your Honor. I know previously she was working at Amazon. She would like to be gainfully employed again and continue on and working and caring for her children. I know her children are currently under the care of her mother. From my understanding, Your Honor, her mother has become ill, and it's vital that ultimately she could be home to take care of her children. I know she had a lot of time reflecting on that, Your Honor, and she is sorry and remorseful for the events that occurred here in front of you today. And we would just ask that ultimately the court consider community control with regard to the instant matters in front of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Simpkins. You have the right to address the court before your sentence. You can say anything you want. Is there anything you want to say at this time?
Yes, Your Honor. I just would like you to know, as she stated, I was in a horrible relationship. That person was recently shot and killed on the 4th of July this year. Before that, I don't have, my criminal record just came about in 2023. Before that, Your Honor, I don't have a criminal record.
Well, yeah, you do. Maybe not like this, but there's stuff that's there beforehand.
Not before 22, I'm sorry, Your Honor.
I've got a few misdemeanors, 05 and 06 and 09. But
Also, like she said, I've been away almost 8 months, and it's been hard, rough, and long, and I don't think I deserve it.
well, that's what happens when you commit crimes all over the place.
I know.
What do you think's going to happen? Why do you think you should just walk out? You should commit these crimes, steal thousands of dollars, and just be able to walk free.
No, I understand that, and I take full responsibility for my actions. Full responsibility. But like I said, this time that I've been gone, this 8 months, away from my children and my family, and missing football season and basketball season. And
that's what happens.
I know. Huh? And I understand that. I understand that.
You knew what you were doing. You knew it was illegal.
I know that.
You knew if you got caught, you'd go to jail, you'd go to prison. That's what happens. And you did it anyway.
I did, Your Honor. But this 8 months has taught me a huge lesson. a huge lesson. The most important thing to me now is going home to be a parent. That's the most important thing to me, Your Honor. I would like to go home, be a parent, take care of my household. Like she said, regain employment, and just be a mother. And again, I do take full responsibility for my actions. And I would just ask that you take it into consideration the amount of time I've been gone already.
I didn't hear the last thing you said.
I just ask that you take into consideration the amount of time I've been gone already, right?
Anything else you'd like to say?
No, that's it. Thank you.
Ms. Novotny, anything else?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Chanel?
Thank you, Your Honor. The state would be recommending that the defendant serve a prison term. The defendant does have multiple prior felony convictions, multiple prior theft offenses. She had 6 theft offenses in 2022, 2 in 2023, 5 in 2024 altogether. She did commit these offenses while on probation. In addition to that, she does have multiple other warrants out through Cuyahoga, Lorain, Portage County, and that's just to name a few. The state would also ask the defendant pay restitution in the amount of $2,560.49 to Willoughby Target on the 1405 case, and on the 83 case, $1,999.50 to Men on the Lake, Giant Eagle.
Thank you. Court has considered the pre-sentence report and investigation. Consider the facts and circumstances of the offenses involved here, the nature of the offenses involved here.
She begged the judge to let her go home to her kids, but what came next left everyone in shock.
I've considered what's been said here today by the defendant, her lawyer, the prosecutor, the requests and recommendations from the parties. All this is considered in light of the purposes and principles of felony sentencing set forth in 29-29-11. So the factors in 29-29-12. Court finds the defendant was acting as a part of organized criminal activity in committing these offenses. Nothing makes it less serious. As for recidivism factors, the defendant was on probation at the time she committed these offenses. She got multiple felony theft convictions over the last 3 years. I think it was 13 of them in a 3-year period of time. She's got multiple warrants out for her for other cases that are currently pending. Nothing indicates recidivism is less likely. Again, the defendant continually committed theft offenses involving thousands of dollars of merchandise from multiple victims, and would get in trouble, and would continue doing it, and would get in trouble, and would continue doing it. She knew what she was doing was illegal. She knew there was consequences, and she continued doing it anyway. And there's going to be consequences for that. You took that chance and risk when committing these offenses. You got caught, and you're going to pay the consequences. It's as simple as that. When someone continues to do this over and over and over, all around the place, they're going to get punished. Court finds the defendant's not a mental with community control sanctions. She's been on probation. She committed this one on probation. There's no way she'd be successful on probation. Prison is consistent with the purposes and principles of sentencing. Therefore, it will be the sentence of this court that in case 25 CR 083, no, 24 CR 1405, defendant served a term in prison of 8 months, which has credit for 54 days she's served. Case 25 CR 083, The sentence of this court, defendant served term in prison of 8 months to be served consecutive to the sentence imposed in 24 CR 1405. And there's no credit on this case because it's all been granted to her in the other case. Court finds that consecutive service is necessary to protect the public from future crime and to punish the offender. It's not disproportionate to the seriousness of her conduct and the danger she poses to the public, and that she was on probation at the time she committed the offense, and that her history of criminal conduct demonstrates consecutive sentences are necessary to protect the public from future crime by the offender. You need to advise you upon your release from prison. You could be placed on post-release control for up to 2 years. If you are and you violate any of those conditions, the parole authority can send you back to prison as punishment for violating the rules for another maximum here would be 8 months, maximum being 50% of the prison term I just imposed. Any additional prison term imposed for violating post-release control is being imposed as part of the sentence at this time. Court disapproves the defendant's placement in a program of shock incarceration, intensive prison program, or transfer to transitional control. I will release bond in each case. The reason she didn't show up was because she was in custody. It wasn't that. So I'm not forfeiting her bond. So in each case, bond will be released. And in case 24 CR 1405, I'm going to order restitution to the Willoughby target in the amount of $2,560.49. In case 25 CR 083, I'm going to order restitution to Menor on the Lake Giant Eagle in the amount of $1,999.50. That's also ordered to pay all costs in both cases.
After hearing her story, the judge didn't hold back. 16 months in prison. Actions have consequences, and this courtroom just proved it.